playing. No chit chat.
Ready?
It's doing the circle thing. No, you left.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His Son Yahweh Shai, who all ignorantly calls Jesus the Christ. And greetings to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the 4 corners of the globe, the so-called blacks, Hispanics, indigenous Americans, and those who are scattered to the 4 corners of the globe who fit the curses throughout the Bible. My name is Brother Yakanah, and to my right is Brother Gamariah, and we are Hebrew Chosen Elect. We fellowship here at Rose Hill Community Center at 19 Lamson Lane, classroom 110B, Newcastle, Delaware, and we have class from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And if you'd like to join us, we would love to have you. And today we are going to continue reading in our Torah class, which is the book of Genesis, chapter 7. And we're going to begin an interesting story, and we're going to pick up with Noah and his sons.
What chapter?
7.
Okay.
So if you're ready,
1 sec.
if you got your pens,
get everybody
your
there.
papers, and if you have any precepts, anybody want to join in the classroom, say Salakia, or raise your hand, and we'll gladly add precepts to the lesson. Or if anybody online, if you have any precepts that you'd like to add, you can type it in the comments on YouTube or on Facebook, and we'll gladly read precepts as well to add to the lesson.
Yeah, just pull it up. All right, almost here. You taking notes?
No,
Next time you don't even need that.
Some of the
You
people on the table.
You need it for
Just a second.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to start for chapter 6, verse number 1?
Hold on, though. It's not sharing no more. No, what, 6 verse 9?
Yeah.
Well, what's their context?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Let me get this back up. Go ahead, start it.
The book of Genesis, chapter 6, starting at verse 9, and we're going to start reading there. We'll start at verse 8, and we'll read it for context. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man, perfect in his generations. And Noah walked with Yahweh. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Yahweh, and the earth was filled with violence. And Yahweh looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted his way upon the earth. And Yahweh said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Room shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit shalt thou finish it above. And the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof. With the lower, second, and third stories shalt thou make it. And behold, I do bring a flood of waters upon the earth to destroy all flesh wherein is the breath of life from under heaven, and everything that is in the earth shall die. But with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons, and thy wife, and thy sons' wives with thee. And of every living thing, of all flesh, 2 of every sort shalt thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female, of fowls after their kind, and of cattle after their kind, of every sheep of Salakia, after every creeping thing of the earth after his kind. 2 of every sort shall come unto thee to keep them alive. And take thou unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. Thus did Noah according to all that Yahweh commanded him, so did he. The book of Genesis chapter 7 verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens.
Of every what?
By every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens.
So Noah in his time, they knew what clean beast was clean and what wasn't. Right? Keep going. And they were supposed to take 7 of the clean. So what's the story? Who knows the story that we was taught in Sunday school about this? 2 of each of what? Everything. There was just 2 of every animal. They ain't even teach us clean beasts, unclean beasts, none of that. But once again, we get into the scriptures, we actually read the words of God. It's 7, not just 7 of every clean beast, 7 2s. He's still on the 2s, male and female. So that's the total of each clean beast, 14 of each. 7 males, 7 females. Also showing Noah and the Adamites and the people had knowledge of clean beasts and unclean beasts. Go ahead.
Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens, the male and his female, and of beasts that are not clean by 2, the male and his female.
So we already tackled it, but so they would know the difference of clean, unclean, meaning they had what? They had Leviticus 11. So let's go there real quick. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 1. We're not going to read the whole chapter, but as we all know, that's here in class, it gives you the whole breakdown of all the clean beasts, what we can eat, what we can't. For those online, if you haven't never learned this before, Leviticus 11 will give you a whole breakdown of every clean or unclean beast which you can eat, of flesh and which you cannot eat. But we're going to tackle and show that Noah had this law, and we're going to read 1 to 4, verse 1 to 4.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11, verse 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, of them that divide the hoof, the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you.
So when Noah was separating what beast is going to come on, seven pairs, he was looking at it. Do they divide the hoof and do they chew the cud? When he was deciding what is going to come on, it just by 2s, he looked at, do they the same thing? Do they divide the hoof? Do they chew the cud? Noah had knowledge of this. And then think, why? What's up?
What does chew the cud mean?
Chew the cud, what it is animals have a different digestive system where they'll chew their food up. That's a good question, actually. So chewing the cud means they'll chew their food up. They'll swallow it. They'll spit it. Is nasty. It sounds nasty, but it's a cleansing process. They'll spit it back up. They'll chew it again. It goes into another stomach. They spit it back up again. They chew it again, and they swallow it down, and then it comes out. So what they're doing is they're getting out all the nutrients and
Toxins.
toxins is a process separating those. So they're taking in the nutrients that they need and what makes them clean animals, because you're going to turn around. You ever heard the saying, you are what you eat? So whatever that animal's taking in, and when you take them in, you're taking that in. So they're going to keep all the minerals that make them clean meat, and then they're going to use the bathroom, and they're going to send out, everything that's toxic, and then also stuff that can fertilize the ground as well. It's going to go back into the earth and do that whole process, right? So it's just the perfect way the Most High made people and animals, and everything has a purpose, and it has a function, a different function, the way it operates, so to speak, right? So this is how they become clean, is if they go through this process of, when they eat, they chew the cud, because it's going through that process of separating the toxins from what's going to kill you to what's going to give you strength and be nourishment for you. So, and then what divideth the hoof, that's kind of like, you kind of got to go spiritual with that one. It's kind of like, so in life you get two ways, right? You got your left hand and right hand. You got your righteous way to go, or you got the wicked way to go. You got following God, or you got following the world. And there's no three ways. God made everything 2 and 2, so it splits the hoof. It's only 2. So an animal that got 3 or 4 or 5, it's not splitting the hoof in 2. That's not clean, right? It's a spiritual thing. We're not going to go deep into it.
Why I get pretty much.
If you got the book of Philo, if you actually read, well, he goes in depth on it, and it's really it's really a spiritual thing, and you can go deep with it. So if you've heard of Philo, or you got the book of Philo, check him out. Read. He's got a whole section about the laws where he breaks down the carnal and the spiritual of it. I would say go read that. Maybe one class will even go into it. I didn't include it into this one. But everything, that's what it is, though. The Most High, he laid it down. If it does these things, it's clean for you. If it doesn't, it's unclean for you. So what's that mean? You need a bath? Does it mean you need a bath if you eat it? That's what it means? No, it means it's going to kill you from the inside. That's why we got high blood pressure, heart disease, all these physical ailments that blacks and Hispanics are prone to above any other people, is because God said not to eat these certain animals. We eat them. He said not to eat them because they're unclean to you. So now you're wondering why you got all these health problems, and you've been eating pork all your life, shrimp, crab, and lobster all your life. That might be why. That might be why you ain't got a good ticker. That might be why we got high blood pressure, right? And then it goes, it's not just that, obviously, because he said eat things in moderation. It's a lot to it that we wasn't taught coming out of the womb. We didn't learn to an older age. So, even when you come and start doing these things, you still have a residue effect from what you did in the past. But I'm sure everybody here has noticed that once you change your ways and start following this, your health started to get better. It started to turn from, it was headed that way, not on the wrong path. Now you ain't got to go to the doctor as much. Because the Most High said it. He created us, and he knew what was going to be good for that vessel that your spirit is in control of. And, Most High, he knows everything. So he said this is clean for you. And Noah, he knew that. And then he said, take 7. Why you think he might have said take 7 of these and only 2 of the unclean? Because they're not unclean until they're dead. Like you can have a pig. You're going to have a pig out back, and you can throw all your junk to the pig. You're not unclean because you go feed the pigs. You're not unclean until you eat them or you touch his dead carcass. So why might he told Noah to bring 7 on the ark? Because you got to have food to eat. Because Israelites out there, they tell you, no, they wasn't eating meat. you can't eat meat. That's, somebody added that. Every place that you find eating flesh, it was added in. Okay, well, what would be the purpose of needing seven pairs of clean beasts and just 2 pairs of unclean beasts? What would be the purpose other than, okay, they're going to be able to eat this, right? This only makes sense.
Not only that, you have predatory animals too that was going to eat of these clean animals.
Mm-hmm.
And the clean animals, they were going to tend to multiply a little bit more because you have 7 of them.
And the cats that say you can't eat meat, that's what they say too. Yeah, the predators, they wasn't eating meat either. No, it was God never wanted flesh to be eaten by animals or people alike.
So you going to go tell a lion not to eat a gazelle?
Yeah, so he gave him the right. He gave look at the teeth. He gave him these flesh shredders just so they could go eat corn and stuff. Come on, man. It's not logical and it's not in the Bible. But like I said, they say that everywhere it says that, that was added, which is crazy because now it's like, damn, every book is got added. Anytime it's like added. So you might as well throw the book out.
And then just to let me back off what Gamari is saying, like we read when we started in chapter 6, it said that Noah was perfect, and we know that the law of the Lord is perfect. Yeah, I mean that's what converts the soul, and that's how we know that Noah also had the law during that time as well, because it said that he was perfect and he was doing everything, and everybody else was being wicked, and they was tearing up the earth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, so he knew what to do in his perfection.
All right, exactly. We can go back, and and what he just said, we tackled that. If you guys was paying attention in the classes before, we tackled that. Adam was given the laws of God. So when you get down to Noah, that's why it's important to go through this book from front to back, and like you gotta cover it front to back, the here a little, there a little, have your breakdowns, all that to get that full understanding. But you can go from the beginning and you see, okay, this law was here. Like it was probably some stuff added, obviously, when you came out of Egypt, like because it wasn't even applied to before Egypt. But like the main skeleton of the law, main points, it was there at Adam's time. Adam got it. It was passed down to Noah. And every time you look into what the patriarchs were doing from the beginning of the whole Bible, you see, oh, this is in the law. This is in the law. So they was keeping the law. They was walking according to the law. But I digress. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Of fowls also of the air by 7s, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. And every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. And Noah did according to all that Yahweh commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him into the ark because of the waters of the flood.
Mm-hmm.
Of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean, and of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. There went in 2 and 2 unto Noah, into the ark, the male and the females, as Yahweh had commanded Noah. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the earth of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the selfsame day entered Noah, and Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons.
And real quick. So this is the first time that it even rained on the earth, right? It had never rained before. How do we know that? It said it before, right? It said that before that there was a mist came up from the ground. So these people, they didn't even know rain yet. And it's telling us the Most High, he started pouring down the rain from top, and what we're reading, he started opening from the bottom. So the water was coming from the bottom and from the top through the rain. First time ever rain. So you also know there wasn't no other boats, right? This is first time. So think about that. They seeing this dude build a ship, and talk about something that's about the flood. They like, nah, you high. Come on, man. Listen. Stop with that BS, man. Ain't no God up there. You you crazy as hell.
They scoffed him too.
Mhm.
Like you gotta remember, him and Methuselah was building this ark for like 100 some years. You know what I mean? So they sitting there laughing at this dude. What is he building this for? This dude clowning. Ain't nothing gonna happen. We gonna party and BS. You know what I mean? That's what they was doing. They sitting there eating, they drinking. Just like it's recorded in Matthew. They was like the days of Noah. They was eating and drinking and partying,
And giving them marriage.
They was like it wasn't even gonna happen.
Yo, like, come on,
And
man.
boom,
Stop
the
that.
ground broke up. Then the sputter of
Stop
water
that.
just came out of there, and you know they were scared. That's
Mhm.
how it was, and it was already too late.
Come on. Go ahead.
Verse 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open. And it was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. In the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the three wives of the sons with them into the ark. They and every beast after his kind, and all the cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah's into the ark, 2 and 2 of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. And they that went in male and female of all flesh, as Yahweh had commanded him, and Yahweh shut him in. And the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased and bare up the ark, and it was lifted up above the earth, and the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth. And the ark went upon the face of the waters, and the waters prevailed exceedingly upon the earth, and all the high hills that were under the whole heaven were covered. 15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered, and all flesh died.
Who remembers what a cubit is? Well, 400. Yeah, so about, I think it said about 18 inches. Yeah, so 15 of those, that's like
Like
20 feet or something above the tallest mountain. 45 feet.
No, it's more than that.
12 is 15 feet. And roughly about 22 feet. Either way, yeah, 22 feet. I mean, so we've seen the deep end of a pool. That's pretty deep, right? So it wasn't no tippy toeing on top tallest mountain. So everybody was done. He made the Most High. He made sure of that. The highest peak. What's that? What's the highest peak?
Everest.
Everest, Mount Everest. So it was 20 feet above Everest. Like it wasn't no, Go ahead.
15 cubits upward did the waters prevail, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that move upon the earth, both of fowl and of cattle, and of beast, and of every creeping thing that creeped upon the earth, and every man. All in whose nostrils was the breath of life, of all that was in the dry land died. And every living substance was destroyed, which was upon the face of the ground, both man and cattle, and the creeping things, and the fowl of the heaven. And they were destroyed from the earth. And Noah only remained alive, and they that were with him in the ark. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
Yeah. And anybody seen the movie Noah's Ark? Yeah, remember? Yeah, they tried to say who was it? One of the
Russell
cats
Crowe.
snuck in.
Nah.
One of the dudes, I think it was one of Cain's descendants. Either way, try to say he snuck in. Either way, we see here like nobody snuck in. He told us who was on the ark. It was Noah and his sons and their wives. It wasn't none of them cats climbing up on the side of the boat. No, they wasn't dealing with Noah. They ain't believe that. They ain't know until the water was rising. It's too late by then. And either way, Noah ain't built it where you can just. You talking about the whole earth flooding. He ain't built the ship where some dude can be on the outside and just kind of like hammer his way in through the wood. Like, come on, man. That's what they try to portray on the movie, though. To have you believing that other people might have snuck in.
I think Islam teach that Noah had a fourth son that didn't listen, called Yam.
They probably do. I believe it. It's a lot of lies out there. Like, it ain't just a movie. I've heard that. I don't remember where because, wherever it was from, it's trash. But I've heard before that, like, other people made it through the flood. No, it was 15 cubits above the tallest peak. It was, first off, already 40 days and 40 nights. When we read down, we're going to see that the waters was on the earth for like a year. So, no, nobody else lived. It was just Noah and them. Nobody else had seven clean beasts and provisions on the boat to eat for that year. So, no. The word is true. Nobody else made it. It was Noah and his sons. That was it, and their ribs. Yeah.
Yes, also, when we're reading, it's talking about the 2 or 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at the Most High bringing order into what he considers righteous union.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about the male and female, Noah's son and his daughter, he is showing you what marriage is. He's showing you what acceptable behavior is from everything that has breath in the kingdom, from man down to even the animals, that he has put a divine order.
Right.
There's a male and a female concept.
Right. How come it wasn't male and male? How come it wasn't female and female? Yeah, exactly. He said it's male and it's female. Another one it didn't is what's it called? Your possession is possessive. The male and the female. It was definitely, it showed the order, even with, and like you said, it made a great point. You can see it with the animals. Like all this, you can be what you want to be. You can have the right to marry who you want, love who you want. You was born that way. Nah, you wasn't born that way. God made everything the way it is. And then when it went off, he destroyed it. What you mean? God destroyed everything. And then he sent a certain order that he gave us a book to tell us the order and tell us about the history of what he did before. And you want to repeat it. And you want to repeat it. And talk about some God meant for you to be able to choose, or he wouldn't have made you this way. Okay, well, we see in all through the Bible how God made things what way. To the point of, okay, now we're getting rid of all these cats that was doing everything off, and we're gonna save you and your family and these animals. And when you bring these animals in, don't bring them animals that don't want to. It's off. They want to be, you seen your dogs in the backyard. Don't bring them animals. Yeah. They don't bring a man and man, boy and boy dog. No, bring the boy dog and bring him a girl, right? So they can replenish the earth with seed. And that's what we just read, by seed. We just read that too. So that it said, let me go back real quick. Where was it at? It says, so the seed remain. We ain't got to go back. Just to show.
It's 3.
But it said the seed remain. Seed, and it has to come from a male and a female. So just on the point of even Christ, he ain't come. It's another one. Christ ain't come from a woman without a male. It's always been seed. And seed is the sperm. But go ahead, back to the reading.
Verse 8.
Chapter 8, ain't it?
Salaki, chapter 8, verse 1. And Yahweh remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And Yahweh made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. Mm-hmm. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated.
So this is when they start to go down. So now it's been another 150 days. Go ahead.
And the ark rested in the 7th month of the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Ararat. And
So when did it start? I think we read the second month, right? I think we read the second month. Because when we read this, we see why, for real, that he needed 7 clean beasts. First off, he can bring in as much what's it called?
yeah, the
Grain
second month.
and second, right? So now we hit the 7th month. Much grain as he want. He still got to feed the animals and himself. So then now he's got these beasts too. And they probably they were saved to bear more seed on the earth. So what are they doing for 5? Some of these animals probably done had more animals. And he said bring 7 of the clean. And he already been at the water for 5 months. And he ain't done yet. So it had to be for some type of substance. Go ahead.
And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days, the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month of the 17th day of the month upon the mountains of Ararat.
Right. And the water still ain't abated. So I'm going to bring this up. So it said it rested. So it stopped. Drifting, floating, going, it's about the waters just going, right? So now it's finally, the boat stops. Because why? And it said at Mount Ararat, so I pulled it up. So the bottom of that ship most likely found the top of this mountain. So this is a little map of the area. It's up by the Black Sea. And this is going to be important later because we're also going to delve into how there's been possible remains of this ark found. So this is the area. That's the area that the Bible said, Mount Ararat. So it's over by the Black Sea. It's like northeast of Israel. This is like Israel over here. This is the Mediterranean, right? And this is Mount Ararat. So this is where it says the ark finally rested the 7th month. All right. And here's a picture of Mount Ararat. That's like Mount Everest type of height right there. So you got Great Mount Ararat and Little Mount Ararat. And there's also this is the mountain ranges. So even the city is still leaving up on mountains. Except for these are like the real deal mountains of that area. Right? Mount Ararat, which the height is, elevation is 5,137 meters. So, no, this is 16,854 feet above sea level. Anybody a truck driver? Yeah, I know you a truck driver. Anybody else?
Yeah, right here.
So y'all been up in our mountains, they ain't got nothing on this. And it's still crazy though. Like them 3,000 feet or 4,000 feet elevation. This is 16,000 feet elevation. So this is where it rested. This is like probably one of the, I didn't look into it, probably one of the highest, peaks on the earth. But either way, whether it is or not, it's definitely up there, right? So this is where the Bible says that the ark rested. So most likely, if he wasn't seeing no more land, because it probably started the bottom of that ship probably got caught up on this one. And if it got caught up on this one, you'd be able to see the tip of this one, right? But yeah, so it rested there and still waters on the earth. Because when we get to it, where it is believed to finally rested isn't on top of a peak. But you think about it, the water's still coming, so that boat's still floating. It's probably going to drift down. As the water's lower, the boat's probably going to start to drift down with it. Till eventually it can't, flow down with water no more. But we'll get there. So that's what the Bible says. It says it be in this area, it rested in that area. That's a look at the mountain range and all that, where it's at. But we can get back to the reading.
It's not obtainable either, right?
What's that?
You go up there to see it.
I got looking at it. I think it's definitely hard. It's not many that go up there. To go to the top of that peak? No, but
Go up there to see
the possible resting place is you can get to. That's what I was saying. Like it didn't. It said it rested, but it's still waters on the earth. Like what in the reading, what we're reading, it's still waters on the earth. So it's just caught some. It's caught some stuff underneath.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I was always told that it's not reachable.
That's probably another site that they saying is a possible site for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the one that I'm talking about, you can get to it. I did read another one where it's a possible one that's up in like a glacier or something. It's not impossible. We're talking possibilities, but that's it's definitely this area. Bible said Mount Ararat. That's where we're going with Mount Ararat.
Mm-hmm.
Right. All right. Genesis 8.
And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark.
Hold up. We got to read verse 5.
Of Salakia, verse 5. And the waters ceased continually until the 10th month.
So this is 3 months. It's rested. See, but water's still decreasing. So just the bottom of that ship got caught on probably that mountain, whatever. And it's still decreasing. They still stuck out there in the water. They haven't come off the boat till the 10th month. So now it's 8 months they out there on the ship. Ship for 8 months. Everything dead. Everybody you knew, dead. Gone. Like y'all was friends. You never see him again. He ain't have a boat. It's just y'all.
He
Go
didn't
ahead.
know what a boat was.
Right. They didn't know what a boat was, and they didn't believe y'all when y'all was building it. Go ahead.
In the 10th month, on the first day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of the 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark, which he had made, and he sent forth a raven, which went forth to
Hold on.
fro.
So this is 40 days after the 10th month. Right? So he finally seen the tops of these mountains at the 10th month. Then it came past it in the 40 days after that. Noah opened the window of the ark. Go ahead.
And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro until the waters were dried up from off the earth. Also, he sent forth a dove from him to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him unto the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand and took her and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days. And again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came in to him in the evening. And lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the water were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up upon from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering off the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the second month of the 27th
Hold
day,
on. So the 601st year in the first month. So he's been in there. So now he's 11 months in. 11 months they ain't stuck in this ark. With nothing but them and the animals.
yeah,
And we went through what the ship looked like. That was a lot of work to maintain that, I'm sure. But it was just them in that, that ark they built for 11 months now. Go ahead.
and the dove came unto him.
They was definitely eating some of the animals.
It's like it.
Because they was feeding the animals and feeding themselves that whole 11 months. So now we know it's no way to get around that. Go ahead.
And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, the first day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth, and Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dried. And in the second month of the 7th and 20th day of the month was the earth dry.
So they're still in here. And so now it rested the 7th month, and then it's kind of drifting and lowering down through these mountain ranges of Ararat. And this is a photo of what's possibly that ark. It looks like an ark to me. And this is in that same mountain range. See, this is the ark right there. This is, I believe, Turkey. So that's where it rested. Yeah. But I'm sure y'all haven't. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
This is important because it's like proof that the Bible is real. It's like physical proof that, okay, the stories in this Bible are real. Because it's somewhere you can actually see that, okay, a ship rested here, and you can see that these remains, they've been here for thousands of years. You can't really make out the ship no more because it's done deteriorated, but you can make out that there was a ship here, just resting for the earth to form around it and grass to grow on, and it kind of looked part of the what's it called? The ground. Yeah. Right. So, we're gonna go into Josephus real quick. This is this is book Antiquities of the Jews, book 3. Book 1, chapter 3, Salakia. Book 1, chapter 3, verse 93. So go ahead and start that from right there at the top.
Chapter 6, verse 93.
That's paragraph 6. That's
okay.
The
book of
that's how Josephus is.
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3. Book 1.
Book 1.
Chapter 3.
Chapter 3.
Verse 93.
Verse 93.
Come.
Paragraph 6.
Now this is Josephus talking about that flood story, and he's talking about the ark, and we're going to see what he say about it. Go ahead.
Now, all the writers of the barbarian histories make mention of this flood and of this ark, among whom is Basursus, the Chaldean.
So he's explaining that even if you don't believe the Bible, and you don't believe him, verifying that it actually happened. Even other writers from different peoples back then in 1st century AD, even they was claiming the same things. Go ahead.
Salakia, they even say that's in what is it? The Gilgamesh epics.
Mm-hmm.
That is in that too as well.
Right, there's a flood story in there.
Con. For when he is describing the circumstances of the flood, he goes on thus. It is said there is still some part of this ship in Armenia at the mountain of Cordiaeans.
The Cordiaeans. And he's testifying in this mountain. It's thousands of years after it rested there. This is 1st century AD. 1st century AD. This boat, it can still be seen there. Right. Go ahead.
And that some people carry off pieces of the bitumen.
Now check this out. And the bitumen is the stuff that seals it up, like the pitch. So these people was going to the site, and they was taking parts of the bitumen, and in typical heathen fashion, watch why.
Which they take away and use it chiefly as amulets for averting of mischiefs.
See that? They use it for the same reason they use the rabbit foots, the whatever it is. Now they got the cross, good luck charms. They're going and instead of understanding that God destroyed this earth and he did it because of not coming to him, not worshiping him. They not understand that. They doing the same thing that why the earth was destroyed. They partaking in luck, good luck charms, or worshiping other gods, not worshiping the Most High. So they're taken from this boat that God used. God had Noah make this boat to get him through the flood to save him, because it's destroying for all the idolatry, all the wickedness, and they turn around and they basically worshiping the boat. They taking pieces of the boat off and keeping it because they believe that if I get a piece of this boat that took Noah and them through the flood, this little piece of this boat is going to keep evils from happening to me. Back to idol worship. Got me a rabbit's foot, but it's a Noah's boat. It's crazy, right? This is what they was doing, but it shows that this boat was still there, right? Go ahead.
Hieronymus, the Egyptian also, who wrote the Phoenician antiquities of Menestheus, and a great many more make mention of the same. Nay, Nicholas of Damascus in the 96th book have a particular relation about them, where he speaks thus. There is a great mountain in Armenia.
And we saw the great mountain, and I showed you where it's at. So there's a great mountain in Armenia that's called Great Ararat. We saw that. Go ahead.
Over Manius called Baris, upon which it is reported that many who fled at the time of deluge.
And that's the flood. That's what the deluge means. The deluge is the flood. Go ahead.
Were saved, and that one who was carried in an ark came on the shore upon the top of it, and that the remains of the timber were a great while preserved.
So they were a great while preserved. They were still, you could still see bits of the wood at 1st century AD. By now, you can see what we saw in that picture, because wood erodes like, it's bad. It's bad in the elements. Go ahead.
Thus might be the man about whom Moses, the legislator of the Jews, wrote. But as for Noah, he was afraid, since Yahweh had determined to destroy mankind, lest he should drown the earth every year. So he offered burnt offerings and besought Yahweh.
Okay. And that's going into when he came off the ark. What did he do? First thing he did is he started to give sacrifice. But the main person, we went there, the reason we went there is so that, even back in 1st century AD, we only in year 2023, the flood happened what? Like 3,000 or 4,000 BC. It was still there. So now we see 2,000 years later, okay, you can see it still, but it's just even less than what they're describing. They describe it as a little more. You can still see some of the wood. 2,000 years later, now you got that, what we saw. It looks like a part of the earth, but you can tell it was a boat here. It was a ship here. What's up?
When you look back to the part where it says, where did he get the idea of sacrifice?
Sacrifices,
Yeah.
we go back to, that was passed down. Yeah, we go back, right.
That was way in the beginning, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That was the beginning.
Of the law.
Genesis chapter 2 or 3? Yeah, Adam and Adam and Eve going off. Yeah, and it's that he knows that, okay, I'm gonna give a sacrifice to try and appease the Most High, because he's thinking, and think about it. Yeah, he's right with the Most High, but just put yourself there, like, okay, you just saw every person on this earth destroyed, like this,
right?
yeah, like looking just in this city. Picture being the only 3 people left in the city,
And everybody you knew is no more.
right?
Everybody you know is no more.
You don't know what the Most High going to do next.
You stepping off, it's like I Am Legend.
You know,
what I mean? You got animals, talking to animals.
and like, listen,
What was the
remember,
dog name?
Noah was a Negro. Noah was a Negro. Don't really like water. he saw Waterworld, like that movie, but we ain't no Kevin Costner's. We don't grow gills. So listen, he was like, oh man, I don't know if he's gonna do this again. he started sacrificing. Like, all I can do is I can do what he told me to do, but okay, what else can I do? Look, I'm about to give these offerings. Like, please don't do it again. That was the water forgiving me through it. But listen, we nope, we don't want round two. Yeah, how we don't want round two. We cool.
And reluctant to move.
Huh?
Reluctant to move.
Right.
I'm staying on high.
Yeah, like you I don't know if I want to go down there yet. I'm gonna get right good right here. Give me some wood off of this boat. Matter of fact, nah, he didn't know if he'd do it again. He wasn't touching that boat. Wasn't no taking no bitumen off of it yet for the Hamites and just the Fedites. Y'all ain't taking no making no medallions yet. We might need this boat again.
By the way, we still use bitumen today
Don't we?
for waterproofing houses.
Right. They taking it and it's good luck charms. I wonder how it got to the rabbit's foot. Because you can understand why they was taking the bitumen off. They thought, okay, this ship saved Noah from the only family in the whole world. I need the story of that rabbit foot. Because what the hell is a rabbit doing?
That's like Nordic.
How do it's gotten bad when now you're looking at rabbits like their foot's going that's gonna save them. it's crazy.
It like the fertilization or something. Yeah.
Man,
Now, from back then, only one was fit to do the sacrifices was at that time was the sons of God.
Yeah, because there weren't no Levites.
Yeah, with no Levites, and so it means from that point of being only the sons of God, he was the only one carrying that title until we switched over and became Israel.
yeah, and not just that. I mean,
so nobody else was entitled to that, but the sons of God.
but
But
think
they
about it, I'm sure they were. Go ahead.
Being as though they the lineage of Adam, they was there to put everything in order. Remember, Adam's order was to till the ground and set everything in order. That would make them, by default, the lawgiver and everything. Yeah, I mean, that's why he was perfect because, like I said, once again, he was perfect by converting his soul by keeping the law. Yeah, I mean, everybody was seeing the stuff that he was doing. He was living righteous. He was teaching the son righteous, and they was living by that, and everybody else was scoffing. And that's what happened to them because they were scoffing. It's repetitive throughout the scriptures. You said.
There's some people who try to teach where how is at that point in time those group of people was going to get to heaven without being in Israel. I said you got to go back to the beginning when he was the sons of God.
Yeah,
it's all connected. You can't separate the two because Israel today is still called
the sons of the living God. Yeah, absolutely. We come from that lineage of Adam. I mean, it even goes back to Ezra. We went over that too, like a couple of weeks ago too, and we pulled that out. We showed that a lot of the other people, they were just of the promise. Yeah, I mean, and we are the ones who are of the covenant. We are the ones who that the seed is called. And
no, it was of the blessing. They weren't of the promise.
Well, the promises, the blessings, the covenants, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but the other nations only got the blessings.
Yeah, they're accounted for the seed. They're the seed of the promise. You know what I mean? And we are the seed that's accounted for the blessing. Yeah.
And what was that question again though?
About what?
The sacrifices and who can do them.
Oh, he was talking about them being the sons of the God and how they were the ones who were putting things in order because there was no Levites at the time. The Levites being the lawgiver, but at the time, him having to put the things in order, they were the ones who were given of the law, and he was keeping the law as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people don't think it was law back then.
But it was.
Yeah,
right.
You go back to Cain and Abel.
He kept the sacrifice too. He had to bring the first of his goods. You know what I mean? Like the Most High, he wanted that lamb with no blemish. I mean, he didn't want just whatever fruit you wanted to bring. And it wasn't even the best of his first fruits. He bought what he thought he could get rid of and give it to the Most High. It wasn't the best of his first fruits. I mean, because we still commanded to give our first fruits, but he didn't give the best of his first fruits. He just gave what he had to spare of his fruit to the Most High. I was like, oh, this is good enough, but it wasn't good enough because he didn't give his best. You give your best to the Most High, that way he give you better later on.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Also, we see that when Adam fell in the garden, we were reading how Adam hid himself amongst the trees. So we see when Noah was called out of Ur, we're watching the Most High perform a sanctification act because he's sanctifying a nation of people which would become the people that was chosen. So he
Absolutely.
was called from out of the trees, man,
Yeah.
and he was obedient to separate. himself
Absolutely.
from them.
Absolutely. Shit, man. Yeah, in 100 years, we keep building and building and building. You gotta imagine, man.
I swear.
Probably sweating, ain't breaking to get no haircut or nothing. Probably their days like he hustling and he changing his clothes. He just look like he got some madness on him. Just build his heart. Like he don't know when it's gonna happen, but he's just building it. It's gonna happen. He probably been doing it. He in tremendous shape. His wife probably bringing him tea and drinking stuff, and he like, nah, I don't got no time for that right now. Pat, let's get her done. You know what I mean? Most High said we're gonna do this. This is what we're gonna do.
On that continent, where in the shade it might be $1.06.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With clear skies.
He looked like a madman to him.
Yeah.
It's just him and Methuselah. And then Methuselah passed, and then he doing it by himself.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He looked like a madman.
That's where we get the blue black.
Yeah.
Go to Psalm 51. So yeah, you're right. But 51:16. But everybody else, I'm sure they were sacrificing. But whose sacrifice is about what sacrifices is he going to accept? Right? Right. So he was accepting of those sacrifices, and that's what that lineage, the righteous, was chosen for. To be, it's same as now. So to be the servants of the Most High. So that's where the sacrifices would be coming from. This he's accepting, and he's accepting because they're being done in righteousness. Go ahead, read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 16. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou desirest not in burnt offerings. The sacrifices of Yahweh are broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O Yahweh, thou wilt not despise. Do good, and in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Thou shalt though be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness.
Then shalt thou be pleased.
Then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offerings and whole burnt offerings. Then shalt thou offer bullocks upon thine altar.
You see that? So yeah, that's who he was accepting sacrifices from.
Yeah, 18
So-
says from Zion, that which is also
Mhm.
us.
Right. And before us, it was the Adamites. So Noah, he came out and that's what he did. And it was accepted. Why? It was accepted because of Noah was righteous in his generations and walked with God. Right. So yeah, definitely. But be sure the same way now, people trying to sacrifice the God they think they are, right? Then same thing then. These people, they worshiping wood and stone, but they still doing sacrifices, and they think they actually worshiping God. But we know they worshiping rocks, and we know that those sacrifices, they're not accepted by the Most High. That's what we know. They don't know that. They think that, and then they see themselves doing good, so they think that it's really being accepted because look, we're getting these blessings. But really, we're headed to destruction and don't even know.
And they don't realize the Hashatan, the one that giving them blessings at the same time. They forget about. Come on, man. He was up on the mountains with Christ. He's showing all the kingdoms of the world and all the riches and stuff. That's showing you that Hashatan got the power to bless you and show you these material things so that he try to win your soul when these material blessings is nothing. You're going to have a whole kingdom. You want to be known amongst men. You want to win the world. You want to win the world and lose your soul to this world. It makes no sense.
Okay. So back here, we read in Josephus, right? Mount Aramazad. One of these cats called it Mount Aramazad. Either way, I just looked it up. I looked it up and put it in here. It's basically the same mountains. So it's the same mountain range as before. There's great. All right, we looked at. and they were saying it rested down here a little bit. So if you look, it's like it drifted from over here. So that's where the Great Mountain is at. And then we're reading Josephus, where they're saying that they can still see Noah's Ark. That's over here. So through that course of months, it just, as the waters abated, the ship continued to travel until it finally stopped. Then I must not have had a downslope to continue on. So I just thought that was interesting. So I pulled up both of these maps. So it started up over here. That's where it rested the 7th month. And then here, over here, by the first month of the new year, slid on down. So it's down here where this red marker is at. And that goes along with where that picture is at. The same area. So, it just brings the truth to the Bible. If it ain't the other 100 million reasons ain't enough, you got the physical residues of the stories that's in there. And the one being Noah's Ark. It's hard for people to believe when they believe in white Jesus or a Kaaba stone or a Buddha statue. It's hard for them to believe this actually happened. But you can go and you can see the remains of this story actually happening. And like Josephus brought out, even other historians, other peoples in their histories, everybody has a history of the flood. So you got a history of the flood. You got the fact that we know that the word is true. When you start doing it, it comes life. So you got the word, you got every other people's histories has the story of it. Then you got actual archaeological evidence. The maps show that the mapping lines up with the scriptures. So it just another way to prove like these stories are real. This thing really happened. And if this happened, that means what? What he says is going to happen now in this time is if that is going to happen. He said he won't do his promise was I won't do it again with water. Never promised I won't do it again. And then he's told us, like, okay, this is what's coming. We know it's coming. We know the wars is coming. The fire, brimstone, all of that is coming.
Yeah, the reason why people don't really believe it because they'll use a word that they don't understand what it means, like allegory. And they don't realize the word allegory is just another word saying similitude, metaphor, or an analogy. That's all allegory means. But you ask the average Negro that they don't know, it's a fancy word to them.
Oh yeah, definitely. You gotta tell them it's like a rap verse. Hey brother, it's like a rap verse. Now,
but they take it as it's not a real story,
right? But just like your rap verses, sometimes they ain't. But even when they ain't, they really is. Yeah. It's the same thing. Most High even does that. He'll do some allegory. It really happened, but it happened for an allegorical reason. Like Abraham and Hagar and Sarah really happened. But then it was also still an allegory that, okay, the children of Israel who is coming through Sarah, they're the free, and the other nations who are going to be servants to that lineage, they're the children of the bondwoman. So it really happened, but it still happened in allegory. Sure. The simple Negro ain't going to understand that. Like you said, you got to... They thinking rap lyrics and they thinking, somebody just made this up because it sounds good, just because that's what they do. Yeah. They go back and make something that sounds good. They really didn't live it. That ain't the Most High. You filled with lies. You're in the flesh. You're the simple Negro. You need to come back to the commandments. You need to start following. You might understand something.
I use that and I ask people, why would you follow the bondwoman's religion knowing that's the slave religion? Yeah, I mean, because it came from the bond woman. Yeah, I mean, it's lineage, and they was gendering onto bondage, and we was of the free one, which is Isaac. I mean, the one that had the blessings, and Abraham's seed was called in. So why would you follow that religion? It's vain to do that.
They don't know no better, and they believe what they want to do.
Yeah, but sometimes when you hit them like that, it strike them.
Yeah.
And it's coming from the bondwoman, and
They don't even understand what that means.
They don't. But so we know that the bondwoman, that's where the descendants of Arabians come from. Exactly. Where did you get Islam from? You get it from the Arabians, so the seed of Ishmael. So you're following this belief, this religious worship that comes from the bondwoman, that comes from the Ishmaelites, and you're the seed of Isaac.
Right.
And we've been going through Josephus, get different accounts. It's funny, Josephus, even in his time, he breaks down the Ishmaelites as being people that are always set to try to deceive Israel, to bring Israel from their God. It's in the Josephus. Matter of fact, it's a small excerpt. If I can see it real quick, I'll read it. I got it in here on my phone because I didn't bring the physical Josephus, and I didn't put in this lesson. It's in a different one, but this is what he says about the Arabs, that they are always going about to deceive the Israelites. What y'all talking about over there? Yeah, exactly. Slovakia. Real quick. I must not put it in here yet. But either way though, like the brother brought out though, we follow a religion that's from the people that's supposed gonna be serving us in the kingdom, which is madness. And that's the same thing with Christianity, Buddhism. We follow the religions and doctrines, philosophies of the bondwoman.
So also you were talking about them taking the pieces off and making idols and stuff, right? Where the scripture says that the heart of man is deceitful, desperately wicked above all things.
Yeah.
We know it, right? We're looking at the conditions of the human heart towards God. And you can see also that if they reject the Noah story, then they can reject God. So it's very critical to get rid of the Noah story, because under the Noah story, it shows you who's in command of all creation and how it obeys them. So if you get rid of Noah, you can get rid of a lot of your trouble lying that there is no God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's too many artifacts that have been found for them to even try to discredit it. You know, they found a split rock Horeb. They found Lot's wife as a pillar of salt. They found chariots at the bottom of the Red Sea. I mean, it's too much. You can't deny it.
But here we see how early it started.
Yeah,
It started right away. So
Yeah.
they got up off the ark.
try to deny it. Yeah, discredit the Most High.
Um,
Well, their God is the devil. Yeah, I mean, they have a Hashatan. Yeah, I mean, he the God of this world. So they gonna work in deception because they are of deception.
What you say about might be in Islam that we just read this?
Oh, they said
teach
they
us
said that he had 4 sons. It was a son
Four
named
sons,
Yam.
right. Okay, so and they got they got us worshiping this rock, and I found it. It's actually works of Philo on the virtues. He said of the Arabians, he said there are people being inimicably disposed towards the Hebrews for no other cause more than because they honor and worship the highest and mightiest cause of all things, as being dedicated to the Creator and Father of the universe, as his peculiar people, having tried every imaginable device and exhausted every contrivance to cause them to abandon the worship of the one only true and living God, and to forsake holiness and then adopt impiety, thought that if they could do so, they should be easily able to get the better of them. That's what, and we sit here and we following their religions while they selling this cigarettes and whatever else at the corner stores in our neighborhoods above us, while we're beneath. They in there and we going in the stores talking about Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Or we'll go in stores and say Assalamu alaikum, Poppy. He ain't even he's not even Poppy, they're Arabs. But we're going to the store, Assalamu alaikum, Poppy. Man, this dude is from a people that's had their mind set on turning you from God and putting you in the place that you're in today. And they've had that
Selling you Newports and ham
yeah,
sandwiches.
they've had that goal in mind from Philo, is same as Josephus, 1st century AD. But they've had it even before that. They had it in Genesis time.
well, this,
Wait
this,
for Allah came into play.
Way before Allah came into play, when they had a different God for every day of the year.
Ishmael is a precursor before we get Esau, and he has the same spirit because he's the son of the bondwoman. And since he was the son of the bondwoman, which had no promise, he's been bugging.
Right.
And he's been coming after Israel.
And what Esau been doing? Esau, because remember the same way all the nations were already created before Jacob and Esau came. So while we went and we was doing what pleased our Father in heaven and our Father on earth, Isaac, Esau was going about learning all the different heathen ways that Isaac didn't like, that Abraham was against, that God was against. So like you said, the Arabs learned their ways, so they incorporated that. Then they was going to the Babylonians, they was going to the Canaanites, and now we see that here in America. All those different nations, all their false beliefs and their wickedness is what America is built off of philosophically and religiously. And that's how we know that's Esau. They went and they joined up and learned from everybody else, and they took it and they used it, and man, they good with it, huh? They made alliances, yeah. Esau did what? He went and he married the who was his first rib? Wasn't it Arabian?
Canaanites.
It was Canaanite, but then he went and got with an Arab too, didn't he? I think Ishmaelite. Either way, Esau, who Isaac and Rebecca didn't want them dealing with, he went and dealt with.
Yup. I got an excerpt. This is from Babylon of Timbuktu, first paragraph, page 50, and it reads: So it was with Muhammad. He had come to a point of no return. He became a religious extremist. In order to give his people a better life, a rapid scale, Muhammad came to the conclusion that all means of persuasion had to be executed. The period of patience was past, and he was now determined to propagate his religion by the sword. For he said, I, last of the prophets, am sent with a sword. The name of the faith will be rewarded. Muhammad became a martial prophet, and the pagans and stubborn Jews became his victims. In the year 627, the Battle of the Foss occurred. Jewish tribes were defeated by the armies of Muhammad and offered an alternative, the Quran or the sword. But the devout Jews were accustomed to martyrdom. They did not hesitate in their choice. Muhammad carried out his bestial threat, executed the Jews, and the women were sold. There was another city northeast of Medina called Charabar. This city was the headquarters of the Jewish power in Arabia. After a long siege, the city capitulated to Muhammad under the rulership of Omar. The Jews of Calabar, Muhammad attacked tribe after tribe and caravan after caravan that were going in the city of Mecca. These acts enraged the Meccans, and they equipped a large army to destroy Muhammad in ensuing battle. Muhammad was almost killed. Finally, the prophet marshaled his forces and entered the city of Mecca. The entire city was abandoned because its inhabitants were afraid of Muhammad. Muhammad decimated the idols of Mecca. However, he did not decimate the temple. When the Meccans saw that Muhammad did not destroy their temple, they returned to the city and joined his religion. So he forced even other Arabs to even join the religion that didn't even want to become a part of it. You know what I mean? He didn't want no parts of it. You know what I mean? The Jewish people did. The black Jews didn't want no part of it right there. They wasn't having it. You know what I mean? And then nowadays here we are, we just taking hold of it. We want to be a part of that religion. Foolishness, man. Foolishness.
Time. Let's get back.
The book of Genesis, chapter 8, verse 15. And Yahweh spoke unto Noah, saying, Go forth to the ark, thou and thy sons, thy wife and thy sons' wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee of all flesh, both of fowl and cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, every fowl, whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto Yahweh and took of every clean beast and every clean fowl and offered burnt offerings of the altar.
And see that first thing he's getting the clean beast. Go ahead.
And Yahweh smelled a sweet savor. And Yahweh said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake.
And real quick, this is a quick question to ask ourselves. If he was going off by eating flesh, why would he care to make sure he takes the clean beast and not the pig, not the other unclean beast? Why wasn't he chopping up some gator steaks? I mean, why? If I'm going off already, I ain't supposed to be doing it. Why does it matter if I do the clean ones? It don't even matter at this point. Yeah, question. Go ahead. Oh, you got an answer. Go ahead. Right. So he's obeying the Most High. So that means by eating the flesh, he wasn't disobeying the Most High. Even the child can get it. But it's Negroes out there that claim to be in the truth. Israelites that tell you can't eat no meat. That was added in. Well, here's another question. If it was added in, why didn't they add in the unclean piece? Why didn't they just say he took animals and filleted them up? Why'd they throw in the clean part? If I'm trying to make you go off, so I'm gonna insert something into a text. I'm trying to get you to go off. So the hell with the clean part, the unclean part. I want you to think that you can eat meat, and I want you to think that you can eat unclean meat. Ain't that what we see today? Ain't that what Christianity teaches? Like, so come on, man. Some people just they don't got it.
Saying about don't eat the meat, they said they added that in. That's why he said Most High added in Passover. People eat lamb on Passover.
But that's what they say though. I'm with you. That's what they say though. That part was added in. Like it's crazy. It's a lot of add-ins then. Like it's so many add-ins that okay, now this book is not. I gotta find something else. Maybe the Quran's the answer. Cause it's like, yo, meat, flesh. Man, we're gonna have to look it up. See how many times eating flesh is mentioned in the Bible. It's probably in the
Quran
hundreds.
even gonna trick you into going off because it say if you starving, you can eat support till you satisfied with it. You know what I mean? And the Most High told you don't eat it, you gonna get the lake. You know what I mean? He said to spread out his hands to you because you're being rebellious and not to eat it. But the Quran said you can eat it till you full.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so hey, the word is true, man. It wasn't added in. That's crazy.
Sloppy on 17, where he says that he has ordered every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth to breed abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, we still see in him reiterate the law that he is pairing up.
Yeah, we back.
Purpose
It's
population
being reiterated.
inside of that holy
Mhm.
activity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He told the crabs to go breed abundantly and not for no crab boil.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Go ahead.
Verse 21, and Yahweh smelled a sweet savor, and Yahweh said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground anymore for man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more everything living as I have done.
Key point, as I have done. So I'm not going to do it by the flesh. Go ahead.
While the earth remaineth seed time and harvest and cold and heat and summer and winter, and day and night shall not cease.
And also, yeah, we see in the prophecies that it's not going to be every living thing. It's not going to be just 3 people in their ribs that make it through. So that's all part of the promise that the Most High is giving Noah here. I'm not going to do it by water. I'm not going to kill all flesh again. Because this time I'm going to wait till a certain amount are sealed in doing the right things. Revelation chapter 7. He's not going to hurt the earth this time until 144,000 is sealed. So it's not going to be 3 people again.
And and also the Noah and his children going into the ark is an analogy of the kingdom of God coming into the sanctuary.
Time. Right. Go ahead.
Chapter 9, verse 1. And Yahweh blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them,
9 and 1. Hold on. Get there. Gotta get. All right, I want to go to Antiquities of the Jews. So that was the end of chapter 8. Now we're going to go to Antiquities again. Book 1, chapter 4. No, actually, I wrote that wrong. It's chapter 3 again.
The Antiquities
verse
of
99.
The Jews, chapter 3, paragraph 8, verse 99. When Noah had made these supplications, Yahweh, who loved the man for his righteousness, granted entire success to his prayers, and said that it was not he who brought the destruction of a polluted world, but that they underwent the vengeance on account of their wickedness, and that he had not brought men into the world if he had himself determined to destroy them. Verse 100. It being an instance of greater wisdom not to have granted them life at all, that after it was granted to procure their destruction. But the injuries, said he, they offered to my holiness and virtue, forced me to bring this punishment upon them. But I will leave off for the time to come to require such punishment, the effects of so great wrath for their future wicked actions, and especially on account of thy prayers. But if I shall...
So he said, he was telling them that on account of your prayers, I'm going to do this. And what does scripture say? That the prayers of a righteous man, how's it go? Prevaileth much. So this is all because of Noah's righteousness, right? Go ahead.
But if I shall at any time send tempests of rain in an extraordinary manner, be not affrighted at the largeness of the showers, for the waters shall no more overspread the earth. Verse 102.
So remember, that's first time it rained. We already went through that. So he's letting them know, look, you're going to see this again. And don't worry, I ain't going to do the flood again. But now it's going to be raining on the earth again. On the earth, like it didn't before. And now it's going to rain. Go ahead.
However, I require you to abstain from shedding the blood of men, and to keep yourselves pure from murder, and to punish those that commit any such thing. I permit you to make use of all the other living creatures at your pleasure, and as your appetites lead you. For I have made you lords of them all, both of those that walk on the land and those that swim in the waters.
Okay. So from there, now let's get in the Bible. Wisdom Psalm 113. So he was telling Moses that, okay, because remember, like he's saying this, like you're the only people on earth now. You've seen everybody die. He's letting them know that, okay, you know, everybody you saw die, I didn't do it because I'm just this wrathful God that wants to kill everything. You know, I gave them chance after chance, and all they wanted, that if I let it be, then the earth would just be wicked. And I didn't make the earth for that. So they brought this death on them. But because of your righteousness, I found pleasure in you. So I saved you to bring life to replenish the earth.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 13. For Yahweh made not death, neither have he pleasure in the destruction of the living. For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth. For righteousness is immortal, but ungodly men with the works and words called to them, for when they thought to have in their friend, they consumed to naught and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part with it.
So that's why he brought the flood on the earth and killed everybody. It's because they brought it upon themselves. Right? Back to Genesis.
The book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 1. And Yahweh blessed Noah and his sons and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth, and upon every fowl of the air, upon all that moveth upon the earth, and upon all the fishes of the sea. Into your hand are they delivered. Every moving thing that liveth shall be meat for you, even as the green herb have I given you all things. But flesh.
And we read that in Josephus, right? It said, I've given you everything basically for y'all's pleasures, right? So this is what he's saying in the Bible: everything that liveth shall be meat for you. So people take that and say that he told the law was that you could eat anything, right? He told Noah, basically, Noah was given a law that he could eat unclean beasts. Because he said everything be meat for you. Who agrees with that? We see that Noah had the law of unclean and he was following that. But why would the Most High tell Noah that I'm giving y'all every moving thing that shall be meat, even as the green herb? Why would he do that? Because he's not dealing with the chosen people at the time. So they have the law, and Noah's doing the law. But, like, go to the law. Can you give a heathen something that goes against the law, like something that died of itself? You can give the heathen something that died of itself, but you can't eat something that died of itself. Right. So it's kind of saying that, but it's not. This isn't the law. He's not giving the law like, okay, it's cool to eat unclean beasts. You got Noah, you got Shem, you got Japheth, you got Ham. So this isn't meaning that, okay, it's cool to eat unclean beasts. It's in general. Y'all about to replenish the earth. And as a body of people, you got all these animals, unclean. But we're going to see there's still that chosen lineage. And we see through Noah what he's doing. Okay, he's following the laws of God, what the Most High dictated as being good to eat. So that law is still in effect. So Christians always talk about context. And even we do. So when you read, get context. He's not throwing down the law that, okay, back in Noah's time, you could eat whatever you want. Oh, you kind of could, because it's talking about also the Hamites that's coming from them. It's talking about the Japhites who don't have the same laws, the same standard. They're not going to be the chosen seed. So don't read it and think, okay, Shem was eating pig. Use a little bit of reasoning through the rest of scriptures. So that's the context if you really pay attention. Or you can think that Shem was eating swine, but then he's going to be called the God of Shem. So now he's the God of the swine eater. The scripture says, does God change? So, so we see Noah following that dietary law. And we see that dietary law now matters in this time. So, yeah, just don't get confused. So it's not saying that in that time it was a law, Noah could eat whatever he wanted. The law was still the law. Noah followed the dietary law of God, period, point blank.
Okay.
And shoot, with the Most High, he lives in eternity. So he don't change. And even this little time, 12,000 years, however long we've been here with the Most High, even though he gives us 1,000 years as a day, that's so we can understand, like, in our flesh. But really think about eternity. This whole thing, all this history is one day with the Most High. He's in eternity. So that would be the Most High changing. How it don't never change. So that's just something I've heard before that I think is not using proper reasoning. So I wanted to point that out. Just so let's read the scriptures, and like the Christians always say, let's read things in context. Let's do that.
Yeah, doesn't Leviticus come after?
It comes after, yeah.
Okay, so there you go.
But even so, we see before Leviticus, and before this statement, we see Noah did what? He was eating the clean beasts.
Yeah.
The Most High told him to take more clean beasts. Right.
Yep,
And then as we've read through Genesis, we always seen chosen lineage.
And Shem gonna do after his father. You know what I mean? And who are we? We the sons of Shem, so we supposed to do after our forefathers. We supposed to do after the chosen lineage. Why? Because we the chosen. Because it's a vessel of honor and it's a vessel of dishonor. And as you can see, you're gonna see a lot of dishonorable thing comes as the covenant get cut.
And also, meat ain't always food. Like how words have different meanings in context. Well, sometimes meat can be what we read in Josephus. Meat can be this. Meat can be prayer water shot. How do I give you a nature?
They call it English language when something's not authentic, what they call it, a contrast.
What do you mean?
Like a painting. It's close to the real, but it's a
replica.
Yeah, but it's another name.
Abstract.
You said Peter Man?
He's an abstract.
No.
Because the English language is not really a real language where it gives you direct what the word really says.
Okay.
It's definitely changed through time. So that you can see that with the old English to now, like if you open up like a writing from King James time, the Basilicon Duran, you gotta really read that thing like very slow sometimes.
It's hard to read.
So it changes. But meat, this is something meat can be, and we read in Josephus, he said, I permit you to make use of all other living creatures at your pleasure. So we read it, I've given you all living creatures that move as meat. Meat can be your use of something. Like I've made you a help meat, right? So meat ain't always you're going to eat something. And it's funny, so Josephus, he's getting the same scriptures that we get. And that's where it's
like you can get milk and meat from these scriptures.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So, and he's with these scriptures, this is how Josephus explained it in his writings, that they was given permission to make use of all living creatures at their pleasure. So you could, ox could be meat for you without even eating it. It could be meat for you because, look, I need that ox to plow my field. See that? So, if you're not, really.
It's abstract. That's what
Yeah. Right. So sometimes you gotta bring your whole mind, right? You can't just come and be simple about it.
Okay.
So that's all I want to say about that particular verse. So we can keep going.
The book of Genesis chapter 9, verse 4. But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall you not eat.
See, now we back in ain't that in the law?
Yeah.
Right. So that don't even make sense. But a Christian, they're gonna use it. That's gonna be one where they say, well, Noah could eat whatever he wanted, and now Christ came. See, then they're gonna throw this in with their misunderstandings of Christ in the New Testament. And in Acts, they're gonna say, look, okay, here it says you can eat whatever you want. What goes in your mouth don't defile you, what goes out. And then think about it. Go to Noah Look, Noah could eat whatever he wanted. So see, the whole time that dietary law is done away with. In Noah's time, it wasn't in effect, and now, okay, it was in effect for a while, but now Christ came, it's not in effect again. Nah, well, that's simple. Right after that very verse, it says the law on not eating the blood. So come on. So meat is just what we read up there. Josephus described it perfect. What pleasure you want to make use of and make use of. But then at the same time, it's good because now these Hamites, see, you're going to see what's really in somebody's heart. Now these Hamites, they're going to be like, okay, what's meat I can eat, so I'm going to eat the pig. These Christians, these Edomites, they're going to say, oh, look, what's everything living shall be meat for you. They're going to go eat the pig, and they're going to ignore the dietary law, and it's going to show what their heart was really about the whole time. So it's perfect the way it's wrote. Go ahead.
But flesh with the life thereof, which is the blood thereof, shall ye not eat. And surely your blood of your lives will I require at the hand of every beast will I require it. And at the hand of man, at the hand of every man's brother will I require the life of man. Whosoever sheddeth man's blood.
Real quick, I'm sorry. The doctrine, you can't eat meat. It says that the life of man will be required. These Vegelites, right? They say that the Most High, he has a problem with the shedding of the animal's blood, like the same as the shedding of the man's blood. Okay, well, we're reading here. It says that when you take man's life, it will be required. That is that simple. Where it don't say nowhere that the life of the beast will be required by whoever killed it. So you just that's just dead. That whole belief, that whole Veggie-like philosophy, you actually read it. Scriptures don't back that up, right? And you guys that's over there playing, y'all should be paying attention. Y'all gonna be the ones that's at a family member's house one day and fall to some BS that they done came up with because they able to pull out some scriptures like this and be like, see, you can eat the hot dog. It don't matter if it's pork, and you go and you're gonna eat it because you ain't paying attention in class. Seriously, hey, Christ is in the temple at 12, right? So y'all supposed to be paying attention. Y'all are young men. One day you're gonna want to call yourself a real man. Scriptures say, show yourself a man by keeping the commandments and judgments. So what y'all growing up to be? Rainbow fairies or men? Huh? That's a serious question. So pay attention. Thank you. Appreciate it. Go ahead.
Whosoever sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Yahweh made he man. And you, be ye fruitful and multiply. Bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply therein. And Yahweh spoke unto Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and I, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your seed after you, and with every living creature.
Kalak brought up a point before, and look, is saying it again. Multiply. So if you can't multiply in a relationship, don't have that relationship. You need you Negroes with damn fairy wings on your back running around at the gay pride parade. Nah, you can't multiply that way. You was put here to not for that. That's filth and abomination. But they still got a chance. So we ain't gonna harp on that. But like you said, every time he's bringing out what? Multiplying. He didn't. So he was not put here. Wasn't put here to be in relationships with. It's same as bestiality, basically. You wasn't put here to have relations with an animal because y'all ain't gonna be able to multiply, and it's just crazy. But people do it, and it's the same thing. You think it's the way God made me. No, it's the same thing as you laying down with a dog. So if you ain't gonna lay down with a dog, you shouldn't be laying down with a man if you're a man. It's the same thing. So go ahead.
Verse 10, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl of the cattle, of the fowl of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off anymore by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there anymore be a flood to destroy the earth. And Yahweh said, this is a token of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for a perpetual generation.
So there is a covenant that God made with everybody. There's a covenant God made with everybody. The problem is the Christians, they're going to try to tell you that there's a new one he made. This is the covenant he made with everybody. And this covenant with everybody just involves him not taking out everybody. And what we just read, it doesn't involve being kings of the earth, having everlasting life, being in dominion of all the nations, being engrafted in with the Israelites. Go ahead.
All right. Salaki.
This is only talking about. He's not going to flood the earth.
Right.
This ain't got to do with
Right.
with the missiles.
No. It's just not going to be everybody again. We can go in the scriptures with everybody. Some people are going to be servants. They're going to cleave to the house of Israel and serve them, not become Israelites, right? So he said, I'll establish my covenant with you, speaking to everybody. Go ahead.
Verse 13, I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth.
And we see, and everybody here already knows, even y'all been taught at home. That's what the rainbow is. It's a token of the covenant not to destroy the earth. It's not a token of a covenant not to destroy homosexuals, though. It's not a covenant of that. The cleavers in Isaiah 14 ain't going to be the homos. It's not going to be the homos. They're going to be like taken as in the days of Noah. See that? Scripture says, prophecy says there's going to be people taken the same way as in the days of Noah. Yeah, because Revelation even said there will be no effeminates in the kingdom. So you ain't even got to go as far as being a homosexual. If you're like a homosexual, like a woman, but you're a man, you're effeminate, that ain't even allowed. So they took this flag and this really wicked thing that they did with it. The rainbow flag is so abominable what they did with it, because now, like me or you, we're not going to throw some clothes on that's got the rainbow on it. We're not going to wear a rainbow shirt because it's been just through what they did with it is like it's not it's on your mind. You're not going, even with the understanding, you're going to be like, okay, well, a man is known by his appearance, what he wears. We read that in Sirach, right? So even though we understand that it doesn't mean that, people are going to see me and think that. People are going to see me with fringes on and think, oh, look, even Israelites are gay. But we know that it don't never mean that. But that's what it's going to look like because of what they did with it. And we see, like, this was a covenant, and it was something that the Most High did. Like, you can actually go outside a rainy day, and you don't know how that thing appears, but it appears in the sky. And when you understand, like we do, now we see it and we know, okay, the covenant's still here. We read about that. That's the sign of the covenant. He's not going to flood the earth again. We also see, this is another one. If you're a believer, like, look, the flood story happened. I know it happened because also now I can see this rainbow. He said was a promise not to do it again. I go outside after a rain day, I see the rainbow in the sky. But go ahead.
I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature, all flesh.
Mhm.
Stuff at 12.
Yeah, he skipped up. And God said that this is the token of my covenant, which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass when I bring a cloud over the earth that the bow shall be seen in a cloud. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it that I may remember the everlasting covenant between Yahweh and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And Yahweh said unto Noah, this is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth.
Mhm.
And the sons of Noah that went forth of the ark were Shem and Ham and Japheth. And Ham is the father of Canaan.
Mhm. Go ahead.
These are the sons of Noah. Of them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be a husbandman and planted the vineyard. And he drank the wine and was drunken. And he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without.
Well, for one, this dude is 100 years old. What's he even doing in his father's tent while he's naked? You 100 years old. Because Ham has always been off. That's why in Egyptology they got the, dudes trying to give themselves fellatio. The what is it? That's all from Ham. So Ham was already he was tripping. He was a throwed off individual. He was a homosexual. Go ahead.
And these are the sons of Noah, and them was the whole earth overspread. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted the vineyard, and he drank the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brothers without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backward and covered their nakedness of their father, and their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness.
So that's another one. Shem understood the laws. At this time, Japheth even, the law of not seeing your father's nakedness. Let's read that. So the law, like the laws all over the Genesis, the law is being kept all over the Bible before we see it brought out by Moses. Right. Leviticus 18:5.
Leviticus 18, chapter 5. Ye shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am Yahweh. None of you shall approach to any that is near of kin to him, and to uncover their nakedness. I am Yahweh. The nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shalt thou not uncover. She is thy mother, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover it. It is thy father's
see
nakedness.
That, and so this is how we see that they were keeping the law, but we also see how what a filthy land we live in. Because how they set up, you go to the water park or amusement park, and you go in and they got shower stalls, and it's just basically group shower stalls. There's no dividers, there's no curtains, there's no nothing. In high school, they have shower stalls, and just everything is open. Some prisons, everything is open. Everything is set up just to see everybody's nakedness, and everything's cool. The same way the Greeks, they set up the gymnasiums where everybody would be naked. And now today they put a little bit of a covering on that, but you still see it if your eyes is open by you. Okay, it's not the gymnasium. Everybody ain't working out naked no more. But once you go into the locker room, they set up the showers and everything set up so that, okay, if you're going to get in here and you're going to change and wash up, whatever, everybody can just be naked together. It's just behind closed doors now. Right? It used to be, I wouldn't go shower in gym class. Like, but some people would. But I remember even, because I don't know if they still got them in schools, but I'm sure everybody went to different schools. But my school had the showers where it was just everything was open, right? So people would go in and shower and just a bunch of sausages walking around the place. I went for that. Like I would go in the gym and I would change my gym suit, but the draw stayed on, and I would do it quick. I went and walk around playing people, because then it was even you like the homosexuality spirit. People don't even know they got it. Like when it be like one or two people that's going around the locker room trying to pull down somebody's pants and they think it's funny. Right, that's that whole spirit passed down from Ham though. We get directly from Esau, but it started with Ham going in trying to discover his father's nakedness. And even it said his mom, you uncover your mom's nakedness, that's uncovering your father's nakedness. Shoot, no, like it don't go in detail of what happened here. Noah could have been drunken and just got on with the rib, and then they was just laid out in the tent in the privacy of their own space, laid out, and Ham want to come in there and see, look what my parents did.
I think it was expounded. I don't know if it was in Japheth or Enoch. It was expounded on that situation.
I don't know. I mean, it probably did, but I don't subscribe to that. Anybody can make that up. I could make that up.
Detail what took place.
Yeah, but anybody could do. I could make up a detail of what took place. We can all use our imagination. That's why I said, like, you go to the law, it says it could have been his mom's nakedness. We can make up a story right now. Noah wasn't even in there. Noah was sleep drunk. He could have went in there and had relations with his mama. That could have happened. It don't really go in detail. But what we do know is that whole spirit we see today, though, we can see Ham started that spirit. Ham brought that spirit from the old world into the new. And the Greeks got it from them. Right? So whatever it was bad enough. Noah's going to curse his grandson. Go ahead. Verse 24.
And Noah woke.
But also remember the point I was bringing out, though, was the law. The law was there. Shem knew that, okay, my brother's off his hell, went in there and covered his father up because he understood what's right and wrong according to God. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And Noah woke from his wine and knew that what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, Blessed be Yahweh thy power, Hashem, and Canaan shall be his servant.
Okay, so for question, what made Shem so special that Yahweh is labeled the God of Shem and not everybody else? Get to it, exactly. You already know. We're going to get some verses, though. So let's start Sirach 44:1.
The book of Sirach.
What made Shem special? Y'all pay attention?
Verse 1.
Y'all pay attention, because even before now, God was always one people's God. Genesis, he's the God of Shem. Shem has Japheth. Even Japheth went and covered the nakedness as well. Shem and Japheth covered Noah's nakedness. But Shem is who Yahweh is called the God of Shem, not Japheth and not Ham and not everybody. We already see that. So go ahead.
The book of Sirach, chapter 44, verse 1. Let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. Yahweh have wrought great glory by them, though his great power through his great power through the beginning, such as did bear rule in kingdoms, men renowned for their power.
So there was from the beginning great men. We read those great men, the lineage down to Noah. Go ahead. You got a question?
Yeah, what was you reading from?
Sirach.
Sirach 44:1.
Ecclesiastes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ecclesiasticus.
Yes, 41. Chapter 41.
No, 44 and 1.
Oh, 44 and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, Slack.
Come on. So it was chosen many people, and it says they were brought. Yahweh brought great glory by them from the beginning. And we're in the beginning. Go ahead.
Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies.
Mm-hmm.
Leaders of the people by the counsels and by their knowledge of learning, meet
For the people.
Wise and eloquent, and their instructions, such as found out musical tunes and recited verses in writing. Rich men furnished with the ability living peaceably in their habitations.
Mm-hmm.
All these were honored, and the generations
Their generations.
and were the glory of their times. There be of them that have left names behind, that their praise might be reported. And some there be which have no memorial, whom perhaps
Who have perished.
who have perished, as though they had never been, and are become as though they had never been born, and their children after them.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Verse 10.
But these were merciful men, whose righteousness have not been forgotten. Shem
Drop to 16.
Shem and Seth were in great honor among men, and so was Adam above. Wisdom Solomon.
No. Adam above every living thing in creation. So that's why these are this is the characteristics of Shem. He was among these men that were honored by the Most High, right? Because of the way they conducted themselves, the standard they carried. Now we're going to see why the other children of Noah weren't who Yahweh was the God of specifically. Wisdom of Solomon 12 and 1.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12, verse 1. For thine incorruptible spirit in all things, therefore chasten thou them by little and little that offer, and warnest them that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance, wherein they have offered that
offended.
They have offended, that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Yahweh, for it has thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of Holy Land,
mm-hmm.
whom thou hatest for everything.
So the inhabitants of the Holy Land, he's talking about when Yahweh brought Israel into Canaan and he destroyed all the Canaanites. Why did he hate them and destroy them? Go ahead. This is the same as Ham and Japheth. Why does he not choose other people? It's not for no reason. That's why we're here. Okay. And this is speaking of the descendants of Ham, the main offender where we're at in Genesis. So go ahead.
Verse 12, obviously like verse 4, whom thou hatest for doing one odious behavior.
Odious works
of witchcraft.
So they brought the odious works of witchcraft from the pre-deluge into the new world. That's why they were going to bring all the evil, all the wickedness, all the idolatry, all the witchcrafts and all those things. They were going to bring that. They were going to bring it into the new world with them. They weren't going to let go of that. Keep going.
And also those merciless murderers of children and devourers of man's flesh and the feast of blood,
mm-hmm.
with their priests out of the midst of their idolatrous crew,
mm-hmm.
and in the parents that killed with their own hands souls destitute of help,
uh-huh.
that the land which thou esteemest above all other might receive and worthy quality of God's children.
Okay, that's what they were bringing. This is Canaan. This is what he was doing well after the flood. The Most High, you already know that this is what's in their heart. We're going to prove that. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 1:1.
The Book of Wisdom of Solomon 1:1.
So, because and why is he the God of Shem and not Ham and Japheth? At this time, this didn't happen yet. All these evils from the old world weren't brought into the new world yet. Well, Ham did just bring in one, but not to that level. Like I said, Japheth helped cover Noah. Why Japheth? God already knows that it's in. He's going to help along with it. He's still cleaved to the old world, the old ways. He didn't come into this new world with being changed and ready to obey and follow his father Noah. Go ahead. 1:1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1. Love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. Think of Yahweh with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him.
So this was Noah. And this was Shem. That's why he's the God of Shem. This is Shem. This is the characteristics of Shem. Go ahead.
For he will be found of them that tempt him not,
Mm-hmm.
unto such as do not distrust him.
And showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. Go ahead.
For into a malicious for flower thoughts separate from Yahweh, and his power when it is tried reprove the unwise.
Uh-huh.
For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject in sin.
These are the traits that Ham and Japheth had. And even some descendants of Shem, obviously we see in time to come forward. But at this time, why not Japheth or Ham? Why not the God of them? This is what they had in them. Go ahead.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when righteousness cometh.
Unrighteousness cometh in. Go ahead.
For wisdom is a loving spirit, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words.
Mm-hmm.
For Yahweh is witness of his reins, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue.
So that's why Yahweh is a witness of what's in your mind. Yahweh is a witness and a beholder of what's on your heart. So that's why. Go ahead.
For the spirit of Yahweh filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteousness things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance when it pass by him. For the inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly. The sound of the words shall come unto Yahweh for the manifestation of his wicked deeds.
See that? So that's why he knows when you're murmuring. Like, you don't got to say nothing to the person next to you. If you're thinking that you're not a believer and you're blaming God, or you're not content with where you're at, and you're a murmurer, like in the wilderness. If anybody else don't know what the Most High do, it's the same thing with Shem, Ham, Japheth. He's a beholder of the hearts of men. And we're going to see that the others, they was murmuring after the flood. You're going to see that when we go to Josephus. Go ahead.
For the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. Therefore beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain from your tongue from backbiting, for there is no word so secret that shall go for naught, and the mouth that believeth slayeth the soul.
Mm-hmm.
Seek not death.
So that's good. That's good. So that's why it's the God of Shem and not Ham and Japheth. Right? Back to Genesis. Y'all understanding? Now, yo, what are you doing? Yo, you sleep?
No, I'm not asleep.
The book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 27. Yahweh shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Noah lived after the flood 350 years.
Mhm.
And all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died.
So Noah's still living like the people of the old world. But we're going to see that now after the flood, after Noah, everybody going to start living shorter lives. Even Shem, even Ham and Japheth. Go ahead.
Now, these are the generations of the sons of Noah: Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog, and Magdi, and Javan, and Tubal, and Meshach, and Tyrus.
Mhm.
And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Riphtha, and Togarmah. And the sons of Javan, Elisha, and Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim.
Yep.
By these were the isles of the Gentiles divided in their lands, every one after his tongue, after their families in the nations. And the sons of Ham, Cush, Mitzrayim, and Put, and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Seba, and Havilah, and Sabta, and Ramah, and Septica. And the sons of Ramah, Sheba, and Dedan.
Mhm.
And Cush begat Nimrod, and he began to be a mighty one on the
So
earth.
Cush begot Nimrod, who became to be mighty in the earth, which is important. So the meaning of Nimrod is rebellion. Nimrod's name is rebellion. So, and this rebellious spirit, this rebellious man became mighty. So, what can a mighty rebellious person do in the earth? Pollute it by spreading what?
Havoc.
Huh? Havoc? Yeah, but
Murder, wickedness,
I'm looking for a specific word.
Son, what did Nimrod spread?
Lies? Yeah.
Evil.
Who was
No,
Nimrod?
all right, but I'm looking for something specific.
Who was Nimrod?
What can a rebellious man spread and become mighty in the earth and spread?
Who was he? Who was Nimrod?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was.
Huh?
But who else was he? What would you consider Nimrod to be?
Antichrist.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for.
Right. But I'm still looking for a specific word. I already gave it to you. It's his name, rebellion. He's Nimrod became mighty in the earth. What's a rebellious man who becomes mighty going to be able to do? Spread rebellion against who? Against Yahweh, exactly. And we're going to see that's exactly what he did.
Come.
Nimrod became rebellious. Nimrod was rebellious. He became a mighty man in the earth, mighty enough to spread this spirit, that spirit of rebellion, rebel against the Most High.
I wish I had 2 Babylons, man. I lost one.
We're gonna go there a little bit, but I didn't bring it, but I do got a couple excerpts. So, verse 9, and we about to get there. So he was this rebellious man became mighty on earth. So now on the earth, we got a mighty rebellious man, and we're just beginning to restart humanity again, right from scratch, pretty much. And the person that's became mighty out of the bunch is rebellious. It's already getting bad. The son of the pervert, the grandson of the pervert, is mighty and rebellious. Where's Earth going? Where's the world going already? It's already looking bad, right? Verse 9.
The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 9. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh. Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh.
So he was rebellious. He was mighty. He also became a mighty hunter, meaning he became expert at hunting game. Also, at what? He's spreading that.
What else was he mighty at hunting, son? Nimrod. What was he mighty at hunting besides game? What was he mighty at hunting?
It's a good question.
Naya, what was Nimrod again?
Antichrist.
Oh, Christ, what was he mighty at hunting then? If he was Antichrist?
Christian.
No, there was no Christians at this time.
Mighty deceiver, right?
Huh?
A deceiver. Mighty deceiver.
Yeah, but what would you say if he was
The
deceiving
12.
people? What was he mighty at hunting?
Yeah, hunting. Remember, because he became mighty one, but then now it's telling you also he became a mighty hunter. What is he good at hunting?
What's inside the person that he would be mighty at hunting?
Right?
Nope.
No.
I mean, he's targeting the righteous.
Yeah, he's targeting the righteous.
Can I give it to him?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Soul.
he was mighty hunting souls.
He became mighty hunter of souls.
Yeah.
Thank you. So he also is mighty. He became an actual mighty hunter. This is a mighty person on the earth. So that's going to be important too. Because what do people need to live? Food, flesh. So you the best at getting the flesh. But you're also mighty on earth and you're rebellious. Like you about to spread some havoc. You about to spread lies. You about to bring everything that was in the old world. Y'all about to reinstitute that. Coming out of the seed of Ham. Ham is that's the one that it came through. Then there is everybody else is going to follow in that suit. But it started with Ham. That's why we have this book from Babylon, not Salakia, the two Babylons, showing that this world that we live in, all the systems and philosophies, beliefs, we can find in the first Babylon. It was founded by who? Ham's grandson, Nimrod.
Right.
Right.
And then now
So-
when you bring this book up online, and I've argued this book and I've studied this book, you have a whole bunch of Christians trying to say that this book is debunked now. And this book has absolute facts in it, on how modern day society and the papacy was established with the Trinity started in Babylon. You know what I mean? All the worship and papacy and all that stuff.
And they got to say that.
Yeah.
They got to say that
And-
because that's what their whole religion is rooted in. And if you don't try to debunk it, then your whole religion can get debunked. They don't want that.
And
I need this one because mine don't have
mine
the
don't
pictures
got all
like
this.
this.
This is beautiful. When I was going to say that, I got the first edition, and it doesn't have any of this in it. Like I got the original hard copy, but this is beautiful. It goes straight to the point, and it shows you like how all the confusion came about with everything that leading to every holiday with all the animation and stuff in it. So that shows you that all the confusion started with Nimrod, and it says it up there too somewhere. It says the two Babylons. A papal worship proved to be the worship of Nimrod and his wife. So it shows you all of these different things that come from every holiday that came from the worship of Nimrod and his wife Semiramis. And also his son. His son was also Tammuz, which was the sun god, reborn as Nimrod or Nimrod Jr. You know what I mean? And this is amazing.
Yeah, when you
I
go
gotta
through
get
this
this
book, it
copy.
lines up how, like you just said, Tammuz and like all these different, they got different names in different lands. Like different people got different names. Like it might be Tammuz, or we're about to see Ninus on the excerpt that's pulled up. Like I believe there's in that book is like
That's where I was going to on 25.
some like Eastern Asian lands that they go through the whole Virgin Mary and Jesus story, like all these different civilizations basically have that story, and it goes back to Nimrod and his mother or whatever.
Right.
But every one of these different lands, they got that story, and it started with Babylon. They just got different names, and now here in America, you just got different names in Christianity, Jesus and Mary. They've taken that story, they flipped the real story, what the Bible says, and they've combined it with this story. That's what that book is really showing. Everything in religion today goes back to here. The excerpt we're about to go to is going to show that all this Babylon is started with Nimrod in this particular part. Yours is different, so you might have to read off the screen or go to on the real quick. Go to the index, and I'll see if I can tell you because I remember what it's called.
This is a major
Yeah,
copy.
we'll just have to go here. Just read
Okay.
off the screen, but
This is the book of two Babylons between pages 25 and 26.
yeah, this is if you have like one of the original copies. So newer ones we're seeing are laid out a little different, even better. But so if you're online, try and follow along with your own book, or you can read on the screen, page 25 and 26, and start at Thus Then Nimrod.
Thus then Nimrod, or nine, subdued all the peoples of the east.
Hold up.
He was the
Where
builder of
you at?
Nineveh.
Where you at? No. Thus Then Nimrod at the top.
Thus then Nimrod
Uh-huh.
of Ninus,
Or Ninus.
was the builder of Nineveh.
So he was the okay.
Nin-
He was the
Nineveh-
builder of Nineveh. So
Nineveh is ancient Babylon.
they're going into Nineveh in this part, but they're showing how Nineveh has the same story that they brought the gods. They brought the story of Babylon to Nineveh with the story of Nimrod. He's called. What it's telling us is in Nineveh is Ninus, but it's the same as Babylon. It's really a mirror of they're copying the beginning of Babylon. So they're telling us Ninus, who in their story is the builder of Nineveh, is Nimrod, because they're getting this story from Babylon. They're telling us Nimrod is the builder of Babylon, but they borrowed that story for Nineveh. So go ahead.
And the origin of the name of the city as its habitation, Ninus, is accounted for. And
So real quick, so now because I gotta break it down. So now Nineveh, they're saying it means the habitation of Ninus. Ninus being Nimrod. So Nineveh, really, they named that city of the habitation of Nimrod. But Nineveh came about way after Nimrod. Right? Okay, go ahead.
is accounted for, and light is thereby at the same time cast on the fact that the name of the chief part of the ruins of Nineveh is Nimrod at this day.
Mm-hmm.
Now assuming that Ninus is Nimrod, the way in which that assumption explains what is otherwise inexplicable in the statements of the ancient history greatly confirms the truth that assumptions itself, Ninus, is said to have been the son of Belus or Bel.
So we all know the term Bel, right? You got in the Apocrypha, Bel and the dragon. You got even different parts of the Bible, the worshiping of Bel. So it's saying Nimrod is the son of Bel. Go ahead.
So what's another name for Bel, son?
Bill.
Bel. There you go.
Baal.
That's another name for Bel, Baal.
Mhm.
Or what else besides Baal? What else is he else called?
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub. There you go.
Remember, and that's this book, Babylon, Two Babylons, goes into it. Different peoples would have different names, the same way they have different languages. So Beelzebub, Baal, Bel.
Baal Berith.
So Ninus, Nimrod. They're saying Ninus, being Nimrod, is the son of Belus or Bel. Go ahead.
And Bel is said to have been the founder of Babylon.
So Nimrod's father is the founder of Babylon, as the story goes. Who's Nimrod's father? Is going to tell it. Well, we read it, but this is going to go into it.
If Ninus was in reality the first king of Babylon, how could Belus or Bel, his father, be said to be the founder of it? Both mighty very well be, as will appear if we consider who was Bel
Mm-hmm.
and what he can trace
We can
of his
trace
doings.
up his doings. Go ahead.
If Ninus was Nimrod,
Mm-hmm.
who was the historical Bel?
Mm-hmm.
He must have been Cush.
He must have been his father, Cush, who was the son of Ham, the pervert. No, they brought in all the folly and wickedness from the old world. They brought it into the new world,
Come on.
where now the Most High has told everybody to go out and replenish the earth And now we got Nimrod, who became a mighty one. He's trying to rule the earth, and he's trying to rule it with idolatry. The same way we see today. It's ruled with idolatry. That's how you keep the people asleep, by taking them away from the true living God and worshiping Baal, worshiping Nimrod, worshiping basically Ham. Go ahead.
He must have been Cush, for Cush begat Nimrod, Genesis chapter 8. And Cush generally represented as having been a ringleader in the great apostasy.
The great apostasy, you go down, it tells you. Anybody know what apostasy means? I'll read it. It tells you here. Gregory, speaking of the author of a book, this is one of the, what's it called? When you give, where you getting information from? Footnotes. So it says, Gregory attributes to Cush what was said more generally to the falling of his son, but his statement shows the belief in his day, which is amply confirmed from other sources, that Cush had a preeminent share in leading mankind away from the true worship of God. That's apostasy. So he was the ringleader in that. Cush is saying Cush is the ringleader in taking people away from the true worship of God, Yahweh.
Still some meat there.
What you got? Oh, I wasn't.
Okay.
No, I only stopped you because of that word.
Okay.
No, you keep going, though.
But again, Cush as the son of Ham was Hermes or Mercury.
Cush as the son of Ham was Hermes or Mercury. I think that's saying Ham was Hermes.
It says, but again, Cush as the son of Ham was Hermes or Mercury.
Salagia. No, keep reading. I'm wrong.
For Hermes is just an Egyptian synonym for the son of Ham.
See, so in Egypt, Cush is Hermes. In Assyria, he's Baal. Right? Keep going.
Yeah. And the Greeks is who call Hermes Mercury. Yeah, I mean,
And the Greeks call him Mercury.
The Greco-Romans.
So Mercury is who?
Mercury is
Cush.
Cush. So in modern day, who will Mercury be? He's also a messenger god. That's who it would be. You heard what he said?
No, I ain't hear it.
Let's repeat it again.
The Flash.
The Flash. That's who it would be in modern day comic books and stuff like that. He'd be the Flash, or even Quicksilver.
Yeah, because remember, a lot of the characters, they just still in Bible stories.
That's what they're doing.
They just still need the Bible stories or Greek mythology and just revamping it. And now they got kids out on Halloween dressing up as these Greek false gods.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, keep reading. I think we're going to the next page. Yeah, because this is page 25. So, son of Ham, go ahead.
Hermes, Mercury, for Hermes is just an Egyptian synonym for the son of Ham. Now, Hermes was the great original prophet of idolatry.
Of what?
Of idolatry.
So, see, it's telling us that's where, after the old world, this is where it began. They was reinstituting rulership based off of idolatry. Go ahead.
You gotta go to the next page.
Yeah, I am, but it says, for he was
recognized by the pagans as the author of the religious rites and the interpreter of the gods.
This is talking about Cush. So Cush was the author of these religious rites. Go ahead.
The distinguished Gesenius identifies him with the Babylonian Nebo as the prophetic god, and a statement of
Hold on.
hygienist.
This identifies him with the Babylonian Nebo. So this is as the prophetic god. This is going back to in Babylon, he'd be called Nebo. Go ahead.
He was known as the grand agent in what movement which produced the division of tongues.
He was known as the grand agent in that movement which produced the division of tongues. What produced the division of tongues? Right, because of the building of Babylon. They had to do with Nimrod and Cush. Nimrod's following what his father taught him. Cush is following what Ham taught him.
Ham was going
Starting to
forward.
replenish the world. That's why now we're getting down to grandsons, and now they're starting. Remember, everybody's still seeing the world was just evaporating, so everybody's still in kind of a fearful state, like they're still kind of traumatized. Cats go to Vietnam or Afghanistan and come back with PTSD, and everybody ain't died. Most like you come back to millions of people still in cities doing everything and still got PTSD. Think about the PTSD of people that just saw the everybody killed. So they're taking advantage of this, and they get mightier. They look at these people like subjects. I can make them subjects. Who are they going to use? False gods, because I was the God of Shem. They know it. Ham knows that Noah cursed Canaan. So that's just fueling this rebellious spirit. Now they're looking at people are replenishing opportunity. I can rule people. I can get gain. I can eat the milk of the earth. But you got to have a God do it. So what does the heathen do? They use fake gods. What does Esau do? He changes the Bible to a lie. He uses the Bible, turns it to a lie, then uses this system. He was able to combine the Bible with this. The Bible is telling you go against all of this idolatry. But
he was recognized by the pagans as the author of their religious rites and the interpreter of the gods. The distinguished Gesenius identifies him with the Babylonian Nebo as the prophetic god, and the statement of Hyginus shows that he was known as the grand agent in that movement which produced the division of tongues. His words are these: for many ages men lived under the government of Jove, evidently not of Jove, evidently not the Roman Jupiter, but the Jehovah of the Hebrews, without cities and without laws, and all speaking one language. But
so he saw that people was living without man-made laws, and even without God's law, because who had that? He was the God of Shem. Go ahead.
But after that, Mercury interpreted the speeches of men, whence an interpreter is called hermeneutics.
So you also, where you get the term hermeneutics, right? In terms of speeches, that comes from Cush.
Let alone that, this comes from the people who are bringing confusion. And then the Christian apologists got a nerve to call their interpretation of the Bible hermeneutics. Ain't that crazy?
Exactly.
And they bring in hermeneutics against the true doctrine of the so-called Hebrew Israelites. And they call them the hermeneutics, and it comes from the gods who are bringing confusion. They told on themselves.
They were all based off of the actual people who instituted them, bringing confusion.
And then we got our people who want to listen to Vocab Malone and Faithful to God and all these fake false prophets that's coming against the true doctrine. It's foolishness.
Back to Genesis.
The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel and Erech and Akkad and Canaan in the land of Shinar. Out of the land went forth Ashur and builded Nineveh and the city Rehoboth and Calais and Razon between Nineveh and Kala. The same is a
So
great
we're
city.
still talking about Nimrod. So actually, even Nimrod built Nineveh. So before the Assyrians had, Nimrod built Nineveh. So that would explain what we just read about it being called Nineveh, meaning what did it say? The son of
Ninus.
Nimrod, or
City of
something?
Ninus.
City of Nimrod.
Yeah.
That would explain it. Go ahead.
Shalaki. And Mizraim begat Ludim and Anamim and Lahabim and Naphtali and Perthozim and Casluhim, out of whom came Philistine.
So the Philistines we all read about the Philistines. So the Philistines, this is your proof, because you're going to be told the Philistines are Hamites, right? But how do you prove it? Where do you go back to and find that out? We just read it. Y'all understand? So Philistines are descendants of who?
Casluhim.
But they're descendants of which of Ham's son? Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim. So like, I don't know if everybody's been taught it or heard it. The teaching has been that the Egyptians are the Philistines.
Huh.
This is where it comes from, where the proof is. You got to know the proof, right? So that's why I'm just stopping there. How do you want to teach somebody or explain to somebody who the Philistines are? Where you go to prove what you're saying, you go right back here. Out of whom came the Philistines? Out of Mitzrayim. Who was in Egypt? Mitzrayim, because Egypt was really called Mitzrayim. We read it as Egypt in the English Bible. But when we go to Hebrew, it's Mitzrayim. Go ahead.
And Canaan begat Zidon, his firstborn, and Heth.
So Zidonians. Now you say they go back to Canaan, because here you see, here these lineages, even though they get boring to read through, sometimes got important information in them that you might need it. So the Zidonians, when somebody's talking about Zidonians and they're like, oh, they're Canaanites, this is where you go all the way back here and you say, okay, this is how you know. Okay, they're Canaanites.
And we hear him in Psalm 83.
Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. And also Tyre and Zidon. That's what I was about to say. The Zidonians go further into the Bible. Like you see, it's about to go through the other Canaanites. But like the one that you see even further as you get to the back of the Bible, you always see Zidon, or like you just said, Tyre. Okay. It's going to stop calling them Canaanites. The lineage. Okay, now go back here. Yeah, these are Canaanites. Go ahead.
And Canaan begat Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth, and the Jebusite, and the Amorite, and the Girgashite, and the Hivite, and the Archite, and the Sinite, and the Arvadite, and the Zemarite, and the Hamathite, and afterward were the families of Canaan spread abroad. And the border of Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou comest to Gerar, unto Gaza, and thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah and Zebulun, even unto Lasha. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, and their countries, and their nations. Unto Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber.
Okay, so
brother of Japhet.
Real quick, so under Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber. Shem's is Eber a son of Shem? This is one that points out chosen seed line. Is Shem the father of Eber? Like, is he the father? Like, is Eber his son or grandson?
It's a grandson.
He's a grandson. I think a great grandson. But the scriptures tell me that Shem is the father of all the children of Eber. But he has many other children in the lineage. But he's the father of the children of Eber, showing chosen lineage. So keep reading, and then we're going to go to Romans just for that precept.
And Eber, the brother of Japhet, the elder, even to him were children born.
See, even to him were children born. Romans 9 and 8.
The book of Romans chapter 9, verse 8. That is they which are the children of the flesh. These are not the children of Yahweh, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
So it would show that the promise was going through Eber down to, we know, down to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But it even says here, like this is something that even before we get that far, it shows even more shows that chosen lineage. Because now it's going to say the sons of the children of Shem, we're not going to see Eber. So go ahead with 22 of Genesis 10.
The book of
And y'all stop
Genesis.
playing over there.
The book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 22. The children of Shem, Elam,
Mm-hmm.
and Asher,
Mm-hmm.
and Arphaxad,
Mm-hmm.
and Lud,
Mm-hmm.
and Aram,
Mm-hmm.
and the children of Aram, Uz,
Mm-hmm.
and Hol,
Mm-hmm.
and Gether,
Yup.
and Mosh.
So we still don't see Eber. Yeah, stop talking. Pay attention.
And Arphaxad begot Salah,
Uh-huh.
and Salah begat Eber.
Salah begat Eber. See, it's a grandchild. Because Shem had Arphaxad, then it's a great grandchild. Arphaxad had Salah. Salah is Shem's grandson. Salah had Eber, so that's his great grandson. But Shem's the father of all the children that come out of Eber. Don't say none of these other children. Showing chosen lineage. Go ahead, verse 25.
And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of the one was Peleg. In his days was the earth
So
divided.
now we see the division of the earth. That happened. How did we get the continents the way we do today with all the seas and oceans in between? The time of Peleg. Back in the ancient days when Peleg was on the earth, is when the earth was divided, the son of Eber. So that's why you get the Pangea idea. Yo. Hey, be quiet over there. What are we talking about?
Whose day was it when the earth was divided? Whose day was it when the earth was divided?
Nobody
None of y'all
know?
know? You owe me 50 push-ups.
Yep, I like that. Maybe more. Hey, read it again real quick. Then let's go back to this image. So this is where the idea of Pangea comes from, and all the earth being one, because it wasn't until Peleg where the earth was divided. Peleg. When was the earth divided? Y'all, so I just said it. When Peleg, Eber's son Peleg, when Eber had Peleg, but you don't need glasses. I just said it 3 times. Peleg, that's when the earth was divided. This is like 3000 BC. This is what is thought of that the earth looked like before it was divided. And why, as you see in the image, it's showing how all the continents and lands, you can match them, put them together like puzzle pieces. You got Africa, you got North America, you got Asia. You can put them all together and it can look like one land. Y'all see that? Now here they're separating. See? So whether they ever really look like we can't go back in time, but you can easily see how they fit together and then they separated as they are today. So either way, when did the separation happen? In the time of who? Thank you. And his brother's name, go ahead.
And Joktan begat
Verse 26.
And Joktan begat Almadad and Seleph and Hazarmareth and Jerah and Hadaram and Uzel and Diklah and Obel and Abimiel and Sheba and Ophir and Havilah and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan, and their dwelling was from Mesha as thou goest unto Shephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem after their families, after their tongues, and their lands, after their nations. These are the families of the sons of Noah and their generations. The nations, by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood.
All right, it's 3:42. We can stop, or we can go through the whole chapter, but
It says
that might be a bit.
Heber had two sons. What happened to Abraham?
No, Abraham is down the line.
Yeah, they can't come yet.
Yeah.
So he wasn't a direct
That's-
son to Heber?
No. It's the same way where
Because you gotta remember, him and his Lot is kin.
They're
Yeah, they ain't happened yet. It's we got a couple more chapters to get
It's
there.
chapter 12.
Heber was the father of Abraham.
yeah, but he is, but we see it's the same way.
The direct one is sons.
No. Father Abraham, same way we read Shem is the father of Eber, but Eber is a great grandchild. It's the chosen lineage.
Yeah.
So the same way you would say Jacob is our father, and we're way past Jacob.
Yeah.
Abraham, Eber was his father, right? And Eber's father was Shem,
Or Adam was chosen out of all men in the beginning.
right? So it's just is that we see chosen lineage. So yeah, he was the Eber's father of Abraham, but technically there's many different Hebrews, right? What you want to do is 342, and
Well,
we're not just reading 11
straight.
straight through though. No, it's we're going some places.
All right. Well, we stop there.
All right, let's we're gonna end it there. Then pick up next week at 11. Let me get out of this.
Everyone, please rise.
Let's end this live first.
Yeah. Once again, we want to give all praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh. In the name of His Son, Yahushua. We are Hebrew chosen elect. Once again, we fellowship here at Rose Hill Community Center, classroom 110B, 19 Lamson Lane, Newcastle, Delaware. If you're in the area, Jersey, Newcastle County, Delaware, or if you just ride through, even in Pennsylvania, and you want to join us for Shabbat class, join us from 12 p.m. To 4 p.m. If you'd like to give me free will offerings, you can give them at hashtag Hebrew Chosen Elect on Cash App.